In Pittsburgh, we got wind in Buffalo, we got wind in Philadelphia tonight. If you're just joining us, we talked at length about the A.J. Brown situation in Philadelphia earlier. So as we look at it from the Lions' standpoint, and Dan Campbell taking over the play calling last week, what was your take on that?
Well, the first thing is, Dan Campbell, to me, we all know he's an outstanding head coach, all right, as a leader and developing a culture and the toughness, all that. I don't think he gets the credit for building his own offense. He built this offense with Ben Johnson. We all credit Ben Johnson for it. He was an outstanding coach. But I'll promise you, Dan Campbell had at least 50% of creating this offense. So I remember going in that facility. Those two guys would be in there locked together in their room all the time. All right, so that was it. And when he decided, you know what, I'm going to take over. All right, is it I don't think it's a disrespect thing to his offensive coordinator or anybody else. It's just that here's what he's saying. You know what? This is my offense, and nobody knows it better than I do. Trust me, I've been there as a play caller myself. Okay. And that's what we saw last week. I think that's what we're going to see moving forward. Go ahead.
Yeah, Rex, I mean, it's a head coach doing head coaching things. I mean, players respect this tremendously. If we can tell, okay, defensively, and you're getting called, the calls come into the middle linebacker in the game, and there are times where, if it's not right, you're making this call thinking, this is not the right call. So if your quarterback's thinking that, the head coach sees that, the players know that, the head coach makes a change. He says, I got this. This is my offense like you're talking about, Rex, and that's what Dan Campbell did. And these players see that, and they know who's calling the shots and now why things are fixed, and they respect their head coach.
Nobody was scared of this offense. This offense was underperforming. That's why Dan Campbell took that play sheet.
That too.
And you got all these weapons on this offense. Yes, they're missing, that tight end, Sam Laporta, and that will hurt them. But when you look at what they're facing today, there's a matchup that I want to see, and I just wonder, Quinyon Mitchell, the cornerback for the Philadelphia Eagles, what he's done thus far. He's been able to shadow and follow your number one receiver. I don't know if today is the day he want to follow Detroit's number one receiver, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the reason why is because where they move him, how they move him, all the motion that they do. That means there's have to be a lot of communication on the back end, and they better get it right because Detroit will light that scoreboard up in a minute. So this matchup, I just want to see if Quinyon Mitchell can really play. And if he does, follow Amon-Ra.
This is what's crazy, though, about the Dan Campbell thing, to go back to it. Statistically, this Detroit offense was one of the best units in football when he decided to make this change. And again, I love that aggressiveness from him. And you talked about it, Rex, kind of the layers. This guy's perceived and has been perceived, I don't know, but like kind of a meathead, right? He never got to be a coordinator. He's just a position coach. Even when he becomes the head coach, he's just a culture guy, right? And like here to step in and take this over, the play calling that this guy, to your point, has more to him, to know the X's and O's and well, I just think is so impressive. And again, to see it in his team and to make this change is a bold decision. But on the flip side,
you think he takes this all the way through the season?
Absolutely. And if I'm Jared Goff, I hope so. I hope so. Because again, last week, what you saw for everybody out there was way less drop back pass on first and second down. It's what this team does well. They run the ball and then play action pass off of it. Jared Goff is the best play action pass quarterback in the NFL. The chunk plays to Amon-Ra. The chunk plays to Jamison Williams, right? And then the little mix-ups of screens and gadgets opposite to Gibbs. Like, again, this is their identity. He helped build it, and he really, obviously, again, I think really put an exclamation point on it. You're not going to see a whole lot of drop-back pass on first and second down today.
Rattling a guy like Jared Goff is a must. We said that week one. We seen what the Green Bay Packers was able to do against this offense. Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. What we seen from the Philadelphia Eagles acquiring a guy like Jalen Phillips. Y'all seen him with that hood on last week in that cold weather, but my eyes is in the interior, right up the middle. Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, and Jalen Phillips outside. Getting after this offense led by Jared Goff is must-see, but I want the interior. What is Jalen Carter going to bring today? He has shown signs of dominance, but he also showed signs of, I'm just out here, whatever. So today, Vic Fangio's defense, I want to see if they can get after a guy like Jared Goff.
Break up the structure with Jared Goff. Make him get into that secondary play where he has to scramble and he has to move the plays over. That's the weakness of Jared Goff and this offensive system, in my opinion. Once Jared Goff gets off rhythm and he's pressured, look out.
Last thing on this, I think Howie Roseman deserves for Jalen Phillips.
Yes.
I think was brilliant.
That's big.
Get Nolan Smith Jr. back. All of a sudden, last week against the Packers, this Eagles defense looked like the Super Bowl defense from a year ago. Two guys that can really set the edge, play, run, and pass, and you combine it with those D tackles, man, it's scary.
Come on, Jalen Carter.
The depth with those pass rushers. And to me, I think here's the other thing about Jared Goff. Here's another guy that doesn't get enough credit. Who leads the NFL in completion percentage? That'd be Jared Goff. So, like, to me, he's pretty good. You're right. When they rattle his cage, he's not fleet of foot. We know that's his weakness and things like that. So, to me,
they
with
have
this
the defense
kind of
to do
wind
it.
Condition and all that, they better run the football. I mean, I don't know if you're going to bring in, like, who's going to play tight end for you now? It might be a lineman. I don't know.
This was supposed to be the NFC
game against the Pack.
Yep.
You know, so you sitting up here like Rex, okay, if he has 3 or 4 targets today and catch 2 or 3 of those targets, are we still talking about A.J. Brown still wanting to be an individual?
No, he's going to get 15 targets in this game.
Are you sure of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, I'm sure, because sometimes the defense dictates what the offense is going to do. Look, they were worried about the pressure that Micah Parsons and company were putting on the quarterback. And if it wasn't immediate read, Jalen struggled a little bit, and he made it to where I've got to protect the football.
This guy's the best slant runner in football. Throw him 5. If we're worried about getting it out quick, let's throw him 5 slants a game. What are we talking about?
Listen, it's not about getting the ball. The stats say he's getting it as many times as he did it last year. It's about him with this message. The message needs to be driven through the coach, not the player. Whether it's A.J. Brown or Alex Smith or Randy Moss or Teddy Bruce, it makes no difference. I, as a coach, should take that responsibility on, and you should know I'm going to take it.
We don't hear that from Nick Sirianni. We just don't hear that right now.
I just wrote
that's
down
the issue.
I just wrote down 15 targets today to A.J. Brown, and I bet see it coming from my head coach, D coordinator.
That would be a huge game
you got it.
that they play against the Lions. All right, so let's see what else we have. You know, another huge.
Is led by Matt Stafford, who has 13 touchdowns, 0 picks in the last 3 games. Meanwhile, the Seahawks, 6th in scoring defense, 3rd in scoring offense, and have won a franchise record 10 straight road games. Lindsey Theory now with more on this massive divisional matchup.
Seahawks defensive end Leonard Williams admits players definitely get intrigued by certain matchups, and this is one of them. But he says the Seahawks are trying to remain focused on the process. The process against the Rams today, slowing quarterback Matthew Stafford, which means handling 1st and 2nd downs to force the Rams into 3rd and long situations. The Seahawks are expecting a little help on defense from what they anticipate to be a well-traveled 12th man here at SoFi Stadium. As for whether the Seahawks think they've received enough respect at 7-2 this season, tight end A.J. Barner tells me, we embrace being tucked up in the Pacific Northwest. We kind of play with that style too, where it's a little gritty, not too fancy, but it's part of our identity.
Thanks, Linz. Meanwhile, the Bears visit their NFC North rivals, the Vikings, looking to avenge a home loss in Week 1 when J.J. McCarthy engineered that stunning 4th-quarter comeback in his NFL debut. But since then, the Bears have actually been on the other side of those comebacks, with no less than 4 4th-quarter comebacks this season, including last week against the Giants. Courtney Cronin has more on a Bears team that has lost 8 of its last 9 division games.
A few weeks ago, Antoine Randall stood in front of Bears players in a team meeting with a proposition.